Hi guys, welcome back. And as you can see, recently I have been pretty busy to prepare for my first PTE academic test, and today is about reading aloud the score guide for test taker, which is one of the official documents for PTE test taker provided by Pearson. Okay, so here is the table of contents. Introduction. Okay, it's just a few lines. Report to scores, part 1. Scoring overview, where we can see some example of scoring. Number 3, part 3, using PTE academic score, how we can use. I think I can skip this part because I just want to have something new to challenge myself academically apart from just writing, research, etc. Alignment between PTE Academic, the CFR, and IELTS. I did get an 8 twice previously, so in the IELTS exam, but I hope that for the PTE exams on my first attempt I can achieve something higher. I'm not sure, and I just have 7 days left to prepare. Okay, automated scoring. I like this feature because the some of the staff in the seminar officially hosted by PTE leader told us that this year, like from this year 2025, we have human intervention in something that need human evaluation for content. So I think the collaboration between human and AI could reduce reduce the risk of irrelevant content. So we have a lot to do with assessing whether the ideas, the content are logically connected or not. So that is a new feature, something that is quite novel and very necessary. Okay, glossary number 6. I'm not sure about the glossary. Maybe it's some kind of terminology. Okay, and scoring criteria. Like the criteria for assessing the test taker's performance. There are actually 3 parts in a test, the PTE test. Part 1 is speaking and writing, part 2 is reading, and part 3 is listening. So first of all, maybe I need to work on my pronunciation and oral fluency. Introduction. Okay, so maybe I will skip this part. Reported score. So apart from working my 4 English skills and vocabulary and grammar, I need to work out in the gym because I need to take ID photo again. Her score, this score report indicated very high overall score, so I hope that I could be like this, claim or manifest the good vibe. Okay, something alternative versions like PTE Academic UKVI, blah blah blah. I'm not sure if I can try this alternative or not, but now I'm just focused on the PTE Academic. Overall score is based on our performance across the entire test. We will complete between 65 to 75 questions in any given test and a range of 22 different question types. The overall score ranged between 10 to 90 points. But the overall score is not an average calculation of the communicative skills scores. So yeah, I'm not I don't have any idea of this notes meaning. This one is a standardized test. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Communicative skills scores. Blah 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 blah. The score on these questions. Some questions assess more than one skill at the same time. Yeah, so I love this one. And they are called integrated skills questions, assessing listening and speaking, writing and reading, listening and writing, or listening and reading. The scores on these questions contribute to the score of both communicative skills that are assessed at the same time. Okay, scoring overview. While PT tests are computer-based and machine-scored, human expert scorers are used to train the scoring engine on speaking and writing questions. By rating test taker responses on every single speaking and writing question. The system they work by replicating their standards established through these human ratings. Human experts also carry out two types of scoring for live test responses. Number one, scoring of anomalies. These are unusual responses that the machine cannot reliably score. For example, because they are quiet or unclear. Number two, additional scoring of some question types. Some tests, such as describe image and retell lecture, always require a human review of content before scores are finalized. Okay, score for some questions are based only on whether the response is correct or incorrect, whilst others are based on correctness, formal aspects like if it is over or under the word limit, and the quality of the response. For example, fluency and pronunciation in a question type retell lecture. There are two ways in which score points are awarded: incorrect or correct. Some questions are scored as either correct or incorrect. If responses are correct, one score point will be given, but if they are incorrect, no points are awarded. Partial credit. Other responses are scored as correct, partially correct, or incorrect. If responses to these questions are correct, the maximum score points available will be received. If they are only partly correct, some score points will be given, but less than the maximum available. If responses are incorrect, no score points will be received. Some questions that involve speaking and writing are also given a score for content. Content means how appropriate the content of a response is in relation to the prompt. Some writing questions are scored for form. Form scores are based on formal characteristics of the response, such as the number of words. The scores for content and form contribute to overall and communicative skill scores. When the response is scored as 0 for content or form, no score points for the response will be given. Here are examples of giving descriptions of responses that will not receive any score points. an essay written on a completely different topic from the question prompt content. So, in other words, if somebody is off topic, yeah, like the content is off track, so they may receive zero. An essay which is less than 120 words form, like if the writing is under length, they can be penalized by having zero. A response that does not deal properly with the prompt due to significant amounts of pre-prepared, memorized material. Okay, yeah. So I think that the well-trained experts, they have the ability to to detect memorized content. So yeah, that's how these kind of stuff could be penalized. Okay, so this is the example of scoring. The diagram below shows how scores are calculated for the question describe image. Okay, so I would try my best to perform it to analyze this illustration, like doing the describe image task. Okay, so this flowchart depicts how a task of describe image will be like. First, if the content is rated 0, there is no further scoring at all. And if the score for content is more than 0, the other traits could be evaluated. To be more specific, pronunciation and oral fluency are the aspects to be scored, and all of these made up the total score for the task, and this contributes to communicative skill score, signifies in the speaking skills, and it also contributes to the PTE Academic over score. Okay, and the question is first scored on content if no response or any irrelevant response is given, as content is scored as 0. Responses that contain pre-prepared or memorized material are classified as irrelevant responses. Note, content is scored by both AI and human. If there is a disagreement between the AI and human, a second human will make the final judgment. If the content scored is greater than 0, the response will be rated on the 2 remaining traits, pronunciation and oral fluency. The scores of these traits are used to calculate the final total score for the question. And pronunciation and oral fluency are AI scored only. The total score for the question contributes to the communicative skill score for speaking, as well as to the overall score reported for the entire test. Alright, so using PTE Academic score, okay, it really depends on the institution. For me, for example, now I would like to enroll in some kind of postgraduate course, so I need the minimum score between 57 to 67. But yeah, as I said, I have got an 8 overall for the IELTS test, so yeah, I do need to achieve higher than this range. Okay, how about sending scores to the governments or institutions? Governments and institutions do not accept paper or PDF version of PTE Academic score reports. To validate your score, they will use the information you have shared with them to assess your report through our secure portal. There are two ways of sharing your scores: sharing your score report code directly, like via an application form, email, phone, or sharing your score report via the My PT score assignment process. Okay, so maybe I can skip this part. I just wanna have like my ideal score. I mean, my aim for this test is like 85. Just 85 is alright. Yeah, maybe 86, 86 to to the maximum is pretty ambitious for me at this time. Yeah, so I hope that I can have something like more than 80 for all of their components. So yeah, I will have an overall of more than 80. Okay. Automated scoring. Pearson uses several proprietary I'm sorry, I would try to look up this word, this one, later on. Yeah, to try to read aloud with more fluency. Patented, yes, this one I'm a little bit confused because for a long time I haven't used these words. Alright, so maybe they have top-notch technologies to automatically score test takers' performance on PTE Academic. An intensive field test program was conducted to test PTE Academic's questions and evaluate their effectiveness, as well as to obtain the data necessary to train the automated scoring engines to evaluate both the written and spoken PTE Academic questions. Data was collected from more than 10,000 test takers from 38 cities and in 21 countries, blah 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 blah. Okay, so it's about scoring written English skills. The written portion of PT Academic is scored using the Intelligent Essay Assessor. I'm sorry. I'm still in the mood of like learning Japanese, so it should be IEA, an automated scoring tool that is powered by Pearson's knowledge analysis technologies, KIT, like CAT engine. The CAT engine evaluates writing as accurately as skills human markers using a blah blah blah. Oh my god, too many details. Okay, so let's see about the spoken portion. It is also the technology developed by Pearson. Okay, so it's like I'm playing a game, and now I need to build the game plan, which is also the roadmap to victory by understand how everything works in this game. Glossary. Okay, so yeah, I think I can skip this part, number 6. Okay, so this one is the most important for me up till now. Scoring criteria. Yeah. Oops. I'm sorry, I have just accidentally hit. Yeah, so hit the back button by swiping with a little bit more force on the screen. So just go on. The minimum and maximum timings indicated for the sections of each part of the test do not add up to the total timing started, because this is because different versions of the test are balanced for total length. No test taker will get the maximum or minimum times indicated. I still have no idea. Like, maybe my mind is still wandering around somewhere else. So, okay. So I need to summon it. Why all question types are scored by AI. Some question types like describe image, retell lecture, respond to a situation, summarize group discussion, summarize written text, write essay, and summarize spoken text. Spoken text, not test. Okay. Also include a human expert review of the content before the final score for the test is finalized. Write essay also includes an expert review for development, structure and coherence, and general linguistic range. Okay, so for part 1, oh my god, I had some problem with my sweaty hands. Yeah, so I need to use the pen. Okay, part 1, speaking and writing, which lasts for approximately 76 to 84 minutes, would have a lot of different question types. And for read aloud, this table we have for five columns: question types, number questions, scoring, and communicative skills scored, and trait scores. So I need to focus more on the trait scores. In reading aloud, the aspects that are evaluated are first the content. Each replacement, omission, or insertion of a word counts as one error. Okay, so I need to be really sticking to the original content. Maximum score depends on the length of the question prompts. Okay, so there are like six levels: 0 non-English, 1 intrusive, 2 intermediate, 3 good, 4 advanced, and lastly 5 highly proficient. I really want to have 4 and 5. In this part, this is for pronunciation, and about oral fluency. Still 6 levels with some kind of difference, like I think from 2 to 5 they are the same, but number 1 is limited and 0 is disfluent. For this part I still wanna have 4 and 5 as well. Okay, so about repeat sentence. Maybe for a repeat sentence we have the listening and speaking components tested, because they would allow us to have some kind of audio, like some sentences reading aloud first, and then the test taker had to repeat what had just been told. Errors is also about replacements, omissions, and insertions. Hesitations, filled or unfilled pauses, leading or trailing material are ignored in the scoring of content, but I think it's also a good idea to have very good fluency in this part. Okay, so about the content, we just have 4 level. The highest one, all words and a response from the prompts in the correct sequence. All words and a response from the prompt in the correct sequence. But at least we cannot replace or omit or insert anything if we want to have the maximum score for the content. Okay, so in this part, just remember as much as we can. For pronunciation and oral fluency, the same like previously. Okay, so about describe image, this one is just speaking, but I think it's really like the IELTS writing task 1, the IELTS academic task 1 task, because it's like some to describe an illustration for academic context, like a graph or having some kind of figures report to their university lecturers, professors, stuff like that. I always want to aim high, so I just work on their trade scores with higher level. Let's see how to score 6 in this part. The response describes the image fully and accurately and expands on the relationships between features of the image to provide blah 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 blah. Oh, too many things to work on, but a variety of expressions and vocabulary are used appropriately and with ease and precision throughout the response. A listener could view a complete mental picture of the image from the response. Okay. Yeah. So that is about the content, and now we have pronunciation and overall fluency is like previously mentioned. Retail lecture. Okay. For this part, we listen to some kind of lecture and then summarize. Then, yeah. The response is clear, accurate, and demonstrates full comprehension of the lecture by paraphrasing the main ideas. Okay, a variety of expression and vocabulary. The ideas in the response are well connected and organized in a logical sequence, blah blah blah. So, in general, for the content, first we have to be really true with the content, the given content, and we need to diversify our vocabulary range, grammar structures. Yeah, of course, with very high accuracy, and we need to use the connective device effectively to connect the to connect the details between sentences. Yeah, first from the clause, between the clauses, between the sentences, and between the parts. Yeah. Retail lecture, answer short question. Listening. Just correct and incorrect. Appropriate word choice and respond. Okay, summarize group discussion. And respond to a situation. These are the 2 new tasks in the speaking and writing test. Okay, I did take note on these points previously, but I still try to read aloud here. Just try for very high score. Response is to talk about summarize group discussion. The response need to be clear, accurate, and demonstrates full comprehension of the discussion. Okay, so I think it's just like the criteria for the retail lecture, right? Yeah, to cut the long story short, we need to be sharp and try to summarize the overall content. Don't go to the details too much, and use a wide range of vocabulary and sentence structure. Try to paraphrase as much as we can, but of course we need to utilize collocation and maybe topic-based vocabulary. Try to rephrase something, everything. Not yet. I'm not sure, but it really depends, and we have to use the vocabulary in the right context. It's really important. We cannot spam like just their synonyms without realizing is that suitable with their setting or not. Yeah. And also use the connective device appropriately response to a question. Yeah, so here there is no need to summarize anything. We need to use a first person in this kind of task. Yeah, and try to sound as natural as possible, like a spoken language with some kind of contractions and polite manner. Appropriately really depends on the person we are speaking to. It could be a professor, our teammates for a group project, etc. Okay, writing essay. It is about writing. So I think it's like something that we deal with the IELTS writing test too. Okay, so content. Yeah, we need to be irrelevant. Oh, sorry, we need to be relevant. Form between 200 and 300 words. Okay. So that's it. So maybe 250 is enough. Okay. Development and structure and coherence. Okay, it's still about connective device, logical linkage. Okay, yeah. Grammar. Grammar control of complex language errors are rare and difficult to spot. Maybe my strength, one of my strengths is about grammatical range and accuracy. Yeah, but I would try my best to flexibly use their language, their grammar, the sentence structures and vocabulary. Yeah. Linguistic range. Okay. Good command about vocabulary range. That is interesting when we can show our good command of a broad lexical repertoire, idiomatic expressions, and colloquialisms. Yeah, so maybe we can use something like idiom in the writing. I'm not sure, but I would try to Google some kind of sample writing. But for academic component, maybe it need to be suitable for academic settings, like in a university report or essay. So maybe everything need to be in formal style. Okay, so here are some of the other question types. For reading. Yeah, for reading. And maybe next we have okay, the just reading and listening, summarized spoken test. Like we listen to some kind of spoken text and then we write them down. Yeah, and we are not allowed to commit any kind of grammar or grammatical or lexical errors to achieve the maximum score about spelling, vocabulary, and grammar. Our writing need to have from 90 to 70 words. Okay. So, how to score high in the pronunciation? Number 5 scores, like for highly proficient. All vowel and consonants are produced in a manner that is easily understood by regular speakers of the language. The speaker used assimilation and deletions appropriate to continuous speech. Stress is placed correctly in all words and sentence level. Stress is fully appropriate. And how to get 4 scores. Vowels and consonants are pronounced clearly and unambiguously. A few minor consonant, vowel, or stress distortions do not affect intelligibility. All words are easily understandable. A few consonants or consonant sequences may be distorted. Stress is placed correctly on all common words and sentence level. Stress is reasonable. Number 3, how to get a 3-point. Most vowels and blah blah blah. Oh, too many. But I still wanna have 5 and 4. Fluency. Speech shows smooth rhythm and phrasing. There are no hesitations, repetitions, false starts, or phonological simplifications. What is that? Advanced. Speech has an acceptable rhythm with appropriate phrasing and word emphasis. There is no more than one hesitation, one repetition, or a false start. There are no significant phonological simplifications. So maybe what to say? Now I'm speechless. So maybe the criteria here for AI evaluation is a little bit mechanical. I'm not sure, but the test is on its way and I have a few days left to prepare. Maybe I can come back with some kind of review after taking the test and get the result. If my result is high, I can share with everyone. And if I don't say anything, so you know that the score is not as satisfying as I expected myself to achieve. Okay, so that's it for today. Bye bye.